Internet, Eric here. Well, still going through the Kickboxer franchise. Um, Finished off with Kickboxer 5 Redemption, or The Redemption, or Redemption Kickboxer 5. It's known all three ways. Wasn't a big fan of that. You can watch that video, please. So I'm not doing this shit for nothing. Now we're on to finally the reboot. There's two more in the franchise. One is a reboot and its sequel. So today I'm talking about 2016's Kickboxer Vengeance. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. Basic plot of this one is it is a reboot of the original ones that starred Jean-Claude Van Damme. We're following Kurt Sloan, played by Alain Moussi. Canadian stuntman, action star, I guess. I don't know. Never heard of him. I think this is his first film. And he plays Kurt. Kurt was Van Damme's character. And he and Eric are, Kurt is Eric's manager. And Eric gets an offer from the Gina Carano from Deadpool, and I guess she was in, what was she in, The Mandalorian. Lots of things. Former MMA fighter. She is a promoter. She wants to send Eric to Thailand to fight Tong Po, played by the freakishly large and scary Dave Bautista from WWE and Guardians of the Galaxy, all that crap. And Kurt tells him no, and of course Eric goes. Kurt finds out because he gets a plane ticket from Eric. Hey, I'm fighting in a week, type of thing. Of course, Kurt gets there right as Eric's getting his ass kicked, and in a twist, no pun intended, Eric is actually killed. He's not paralyzed, he's killed by a neck snap. The rest of the film is Kurt seeking out Durand, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme. This time Jean-Claude Van Damme is the trainer, so Kurt can get revenge. All right, first off, man, this was a lot of fun. Really liked this one. Okay, Alain Moussi as Kurt. He's a pretty good actor. I like him. He's very likable as Kurt. He is a phenomenal martial artist. The dude this guy does is fantastic. Gymnast, stuntman, fantastic. He's got great chemistry with the actress. Does it say her name in the credits? I don't know. Is it Sarah Lane? I believe so. Sarah Lane plays a cop in Thailand. He's got great chemistry with her, of course. Put two and two together, literally, and they become a love interest. They have a fling going on. Great chemistry. He's got great chemistry with everybody, with Van Damme, and so on. Jean-Claude Van Damme is Durand. He, instead of Zian had some comedy to him. Durand is a little more serious. And what I like about that is Van Damme doesn't say much in this movie without his fists. Not too much dialogue. But what he does say, you believe. And holy shit, Van Damme, this is 2016, so I think it was after Expendables 2. He still has it. There are a lot of fight scenes with Van Damme in this, and he is kicking the shit out of everybody, and you believe it. Like I said, I love the training he has with Kurt. You know he means business, because when Kurt is sleeping, his first day of training, Durand ties him to the bed while he's sleeping, and he has like this giant bamboo stick or a broomstick or something. I don't know what it is. And he's beating the legs. And Kurt wakes up, and you find out Durand's doing it to kill the nerves. So stuff like that. Great. Dave Bautista as Tong Po is scary as shit. Doesn't have a lot to say. Kind of like the original Tong Po, but he obviously is more intimidating. He's bigger, than Michel Kusi. I finally found out that's how you say his real name, or you say his name as Tong Po. And again, he's just being a menacing, mean, scary dude. Who else is there? The actress who I said, Sarah Lane, who plays she plays a cop trying to take down Gina Carano. She's fine. She's there to look pretty, get naked, looks good naked, and she's got a good chemistry with what's his name, Alain Moussi. And she's pretty good in the action. It's not fighting, but she has a couple gunfight scenes, so she's really good. The other characters, They pulled from the MMA world. We have George St. Pierre. He is kind of a in the beginning an opponent, and then he becomes a buddy of Kurt. Cain Velasquez, if you know who he is. I know him more from WWE. Like, he did one spot in WWE with Rey Mysterio, and he just got out of prison for murdering a dude. He's there as an opponent. There's someone else who's famous in the MMA world. Cain Velasquez, George St. Pierre. I don't know, someone else. Who cares? But that he sucks. Uh, George St. Pierre, he sucks. He's there to be the drunk fighter, and you can tell he's not drinking the beer because every time he's literally taking a sip and taking a chug, and you can tell he's not drinking anything. But he has good fight scenes, but he's a lame actor. Speaking of, the fight scenes are amazing. They're so much fun. Some are so over the top because Ale Musi, he is so acrobatic. He's doing flips and kicks and split kicks and anything you can think of. He is fucking amazing. There's a scene, there's a bar fight. He's fighting Cain Velasquez and he gets his ass kicked, and you believe it. There is the what happens is the movie starts and Kurt is sneaking into Tong Po's, I guess you'd say, compound, and beats the shit out of two people. You know what I mean? And those two fights are amazing. And then he's going to try to kill Tong Po. He gets caught, arrested, and then we go back to the past and find out what happened. But those two fights in the compound are fucking amazing. There are chase scenes with the cops, chase scenes with villains. With Van Damme and Kurt working together, they kick the shit out of everybody. There are some good training montages. I love the initial fight that Kurt has to have with Duran in the rain, and it looks so fucking cool. And Kurt, gets his ass kicked, and it shows that Van Damme still has it. The training is different in this. There's no Kiki chasing Kurt with meat tied to his leg. There's a homage to the palm tree that is cool. But I love this one because, like I said, we start out with the nerves getting numbed or killed, and there is what is it? There's a couple kids that are helping Duran, and they're throwing coconuts at Kurt, and Kurt is supposed to break them with his elbow, and of course he can't, and of course Van Damme as Duran is busting him, showing him up, and stuff like that. Many different things he's got to do. He's on a bicycle that is rigged, and he's got to pedal underwater, against the force and stuff like that. Really, really good. Final fight, holy shit, is different but the same. It ends up being Tong Po obviously against Kurt. First off, there's a cool scene where obviously the cop falls in love with Kurt. They bang, and I don't remember how, she finds a way to get them arrested so he will miss his fight. And they break out of prison, and in the prison is is Michelle Kusi, who was Tong Po in the original one. As Van Damme or Duran is walking past, he looks at him. He's like, "Hey, you remember me, or you forget about me, or something like that." And then Van Damme just kind of looks at him and then runs. So it's kind of cool seeing him. But this final fight, first off, is just a fight. Taped fists and all that stuff. Tong Po beats the shit out of him. Then we get the Taipei. We get the glass on the. And it's 3 rounds. We get the Taipei. We get the glass on the hand. And this shit is bloody. You have cuts everywhere. It's a lot more bloody in this one than it was in the first film. And then by the 3rd round, you get swords. Holy shit. And again, this final fight is so good. You get, of course, George St. Pierre shows up and starts cheering Naksu Kao, White Warrior. So you have that homage to the original, of course. That gets Kurt up. You knew that was going to happen. And when he kicks the shit out of Tong Po, it's so good, so bloody, so violent, a little over the top. The camera shots are great. He does fucking Van Damme's spin kick. And let's just say, Tong Po came back in part 2, which was okay, and I fucking hated him in part 4. Tong Po ain't coming back in this one, and I liked how that happened. Any cons? Well, the training sequences are to rap music, and of course, that's 2016. What the fuck do you expect? So, But overall, I really, really dug this movie. I had a lot of fun with Kickboxer Vengeance. Really enjoyed the characters. Tong Po was scary. So happy he was scary because of what happened in part 4. You want to know why I didn't like him in part 4? Watch the video. I don't have time to relive that. I like the side characters. Gina Carano, she doesn't do much, just stand there and look hot. But that's okay. The chemistry with everybody, the fights are fucking amazing. I like Alain Moussi as Kurt, and I'm glad he's apparently back in the sequel. Cannot wait to watch part 2. I think it's called Kickboxer Redemption. Anyways, I enjoyed this one so much. I'm excited to watch the next one. This is probably the best one since the original. You might say that's not saying much, but you know what? I did like part 2 and 3, and a little bit of 4. We're not going to talk about 5. Had a lot of fun with this. Highly, highly recommend it. If you're an action fan, and a fan of the original. Really, really cool. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me if you've seen this one before. Tell me if you are against watching it because you hate remakes. Well, guess what? You might be missing a fun action film. Two Bitter Losers, this coming Saturday. Secret Santa from Adam Marcus. That's going to be our Christmas episode. And then we're taking some time off. Maybe a week, maybe 2. Not really sure yet. But we'll be back after that episode this Saturday, the usual time. I will be finishing up the Kickboxer franchise with Redemption, which is going to be interesting. Alain Moussi returns. Jean-Claude Van Damme returns. The girl who played the cop returns. And I guess the new villain is the Mountain from Game of Thrones. And Mike Tyson is fucking in there for some reason. Who knows? But that's it. And then after that, I think I'm going to dive into the Underworld franchise, as a request, or not a request, but as a recommendation from Mike from American Werewolf in New Jersey. And I might throw a fucking Wild Eye movie in there. We'll see. Anyways, cheers.